Hello and welcome, everybody, to another episode of Lawful and Orderly. My name is Scott, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. We have a very special guest for tonight, of course. That's Brian Askren, and we're going to get to introductions in just a minute. But, of course, everybody knows how we start our episodes of Lawful and Orderly, and that's with the Lawful and Orderly Pledge. No, it isn't. It's with our
hand over the heart. Is it the hat? The hat off?
Yeah, you got to do the salute.
No, it's got to be the salute. It's got to be the
yeah.
high guard salute.
Obviously, that's how it starts. No, that's not how it starts. It starts with welcome to Lan Arcanym, the city of magic. At a nexus of three major ley lines, the city shimmers with magical energy. But that kind of power brings trouble. Trouble that sometimes seems to spawn from thin air. Luckily for the folks of Lan Arcanym, the High Guard take their jobs seriously. LAHG is comprised of many different divisions, but of particular interest is the Special Visions Unit. The SVU deals with the strangest and most disturbing cases in Lan Arcanym. This is one such case. Bum bum bum.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da.
Wow, 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 wow.
Chicka chicka wow wow chicka wow.
No, that's what I want. Can we get that one?
Yeah. Lan Arcanym Knights, everybody.
All right, so once again, as I mentioned, welcome everybody, near and far. Tonight we have a full house, as I alluded to. Starting in your upper left, the top left corner in our Hollywood squares is Andrew. Say hello, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. How's everyone tonight?
Everyone tonight is good. And Andrew's playing Mikhail Pavlovichkevich, a lovely gnome. We don't really know he's a warlock, but he's a warlock. And our lovely friend Mikhail, I have a question for you. Mikhail, you've recently been digging through the cold case files, and during a last question and answer session, you mentioned that you'd found something of interest, sort of like a bizarre mason jar.
Yes.
Has Mikhail made any progress on uncovering the meaning of that mason jar?
Yes, he has been digging into it. So the mason jar is designed to hold a soul that has been separated from its body. It's covered in a number of runes and charms. It looks like this one has been used. The case file it wasn't where it should have been. It should have been, or the case was with didn't have any soul jars or anything like that as part of the case file. This one has been used, but there is currently nothing in it. So whatever was in it escaped or dissolved, but Mikhail still has not found out what it might have been associated with.
Interesting.
Unfortunately.
Interesting. What a mystery. All right, well, the mystery goes on. Then, proceeding counterclockwise, because that's not the way clocks go, Marty. Say hello, Marty.
Hello, Marty.
Bottom left corner of our little checkerboard today.
That's me.
Marty is playing Aaron Twilson, the only human of our current group on the Force. The token human. I mean, we wanted to make some sort of gesture. And
by
also,
the way, you switched back to your splash screen. Looks like
I did.
It says starting in 30 minutes.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for. Oops.
Although we can hear you.
There we go. We're back again from
yes.
being back. Thanks. All right. So, Aaron, in addition to being the greenest fellow on the Force, has recently been subjected to any number of minor embarrassments or micro hostilities in the workplace, such as being put onto Force janitorial work and being compelled to. He's also the first one wearing the brand new uniforms that the High Guard have recently come out with, as approved by our lovely Shannon Sparks. These new uniforms, however, leave something to be desired, and that something is non-itchiness. So, Aaron, answer me this question: how is it that Aaron decompresses and relaxes from all of these tensions in the workplace, and how does he act to fight back or work against them? How is he working his way out of permanent green cadet place?
Yeah, so being from the theater, Aaron really likes to try to absorb everything that's going on around him and really like project that back. Like his goal is to like figure out who he is in the cast and fit in, and that applies just as well, inside the High Guard, where one of the things that he didn't expect was how much paperwork is involved. He expected there would be a lot of running around, a lot of talking to people. And maybe some excitement, clapping manacles on unwilling perps. But the paperwork filing turned out to be a big stress. And one thing that he's done is taken to watching Mikhail and essentially like sort of aping what Mikhail does, but not actually producing the same text. So you'll see him, like shuffling lots of folders and moving things around very authoritatively. But not necessarily correlating any of the same kind of information that someone with as much experience would do. So he's definitely putting on airs as much as he can to appear that he knows what he's doing.
Excellent. So you're looking busy. That's fantastic. You should be very proud. You've achieved success as a government bureaucrat. Now, the bottom right of our Hollywood squares is, of course, Jeffrey. Say hello to everybody, Jeffrey.
Hello, everybody, Jeffrey.
Fantastic. I'm glad everyone's so literal this evening. That's exactly as it should be. So Jeffrey is playing Shannon Sparks, the fashion-forward officer who's also a half unicorn. The half, of course, being the top half and the posable hooves, I believe. And so Shannon... Shannon has recently designed these new uniforms, and they were quite a good success, and people are starting to wear them and adopt them. And so what is Shannon planning to do next with her newfound fashion success in the Force?
Honestly, Shannon is really looking to expand the line to include non-human-ish creatures, specifically those of the dog variety. Like, she's ready to create like cute dog tees and dog sweaters. She's seen Bark looking a little rough, ready to help that situation out. So that's really where she's going next. It's cute dog clothes.
I love it. All right. And rounding out the pack, really, we have, of course, Brian at Ask Ren on Twitter. Say hello to the kids at home, Brian. Oh, you're on mute.
Hello, children.
Delightful. Yeah,
Come closer to your Twitch streaming devices, children.
Yeah, nothing more terrifying than that. That's very good. So, tonight, Brian, you are playing Lorne Steelframe, a dwarven rogue, and did I hear something?
No, I just said yes.
Yes, and
that is true.
So, but of course, Lorne, he currently works in unspecified place. But before he did that, he did something else. What did Lorne do before that?
So he was he was he was raised on the streets. He didn't have a lot. He is a rough and tumble dwarf, and he had to get by doing some not nice things. So he developed a very particular set of skills. He moves about the city particularly quickly. No one's really sure exactly how that works. He's actually not even sure how that works. But he developed a lot of, like, he put his fingers in a lot of the pies of the underbelly of the city. But now he is since sort of become one of those loose cannon type cops that used to be bad, but
he's not a cop. But loose cannon type.
These loose cannon types who is now on the side of not the things that he used to do.
He's
recounted
his old ways, and now he's standing up for justice after a fashion.
Yeah, probably because he like someone will throw him in jail or kill him if he doesn't.
Perfect. I love it.
Nothing like the threat of bodily death to turn around your viewpoint.
And, of course, Brian, this is a great opportunity to discuss a little bit more about you and your own Twitch channel for the viewers, those who are not familiar. I'm sure everybody is. But for the few that are not familiar with Exploding Dice, Fuzzy Dice, why don't you fill them in?
It's just I'm just a guy who runs a Twitch channel where we do the D&Ds. It's called Exploding Dice. We do live D&D twice a week on Saturdays and Sundays. And then I have a talk show called Fuzzy Dice where I hang out with like nerd celebrities and podcasters and people like that. And the rest of my week is filled with creative streams and hanging out on other channels like this.
Perfect. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. All right. So all that wrapped up, you guys find yourselves in kind of a regular old day in the station. It's real early morning. You guys have the pre-dawn shift. And so the sun is just sort of peeking over the horizon. Everyone's a little bit groggy from working a pretty slow morning, but otherwise, you guys find that the coffee pot is broken.
Oh.
And it looks like somebody broke it and then left. Just like snuck away. No note. No like clearly swept it up like it's broken and then just gone.
This is why HR has been putting signs on the other coffee stations in the station. I saw that and I thought, this is silly. Everyone knows how to use coffee pot. Everyone knows you fill it, you put it on the burner. No, I thought everyone knows this is very silly. And yet, here we have someone who has not only... I didn't even stop at the coffee shop this morning because I knew if I got to work, I would be able to get coffee.
You know, you hear about awful things happening to good people in the world, and this is it. This is it. This is what they're talking about right here. Did you do this, Aaron? Was this you? Was this your doing?
What?
It is all right
Did you guys know that the coffee maker is broken? Sorry, I can't think without caffeine. This is messing me up right now.
Mikhail pulls out a small cloth pouch. I even have this special roast. This is from Undermountain.
Coffee. I smell coffee. I need that.
No,
Aaron,
it's just powder.
Aaron reaches to like stick his fingers in and get a few beans.
It's just okay.
Put it on your gums.
He's like rubbing on his gums.
Are you ew, that's you need
It's
help,
possible that you
Aaron.
might have a problem.
It's a lot more bitter this
The
way.
chief is not going to be happy when she hears about this.
Just then, the problem that all of you have, in an extremely bitter shrill, screams out, Mikhail! Aaron! Shannon! My office! Now!
Okay, well, we will see how the chief is without the copy.
And as you guys charge into the chief's office, you find her at the morning. She's taken the shape of some like a half elephant, like a sort of a pachyderm, and her trunk is drooped lazily on her desk, sort of spiraled up, and she says, did you hear the coffee pot's broken?
Yes.
Which one of you two did it? 3. There are 3 of you. Which one of you 3
No,
did
there's just 2. It's 2. I'm not involved. It's those 2. You were right.
We were
She
discussing
believes
whether or not Aaron had broken it, and we told him it's okay to come clean. It's better to tell the truth, even if he had made a mistake, than to lie about it and pretend that it was not him.
Exactly. Do you see the beans on his mouth? He's hard up. He broke it, and now he's here.
She stomps her foot a little bit angrily, and she says, well, I think this is today's mystery, barring any visions you need to solve. Who has disturbed the coffee pot? And just then, there's a knock on her door, and she says, I didn't want to be disturbed. And there's a very familiar to you voice on the other side of her office that says, I'm afraid it cannot wait, for I've had a vision. A vision beyond time and come in. And in shuffles a very familiar-looking, aged seer, who's bringing with him a little clouded crystal seeing ball, and he places it on the chief's desk. And he says, yes, touch and be amazed. And then you guys notice out of the corner of his eye, he seems to notice Mikhail, and then he kind of starts. He says, yes, we should all see this vision.
Oh, all right. Okay. If it's a normal thing we all do, let's engage.
All right.
Aaron picked some coffee bean out of his tooth.
Shannon switches hands. Pull this up. There we go.
Disgusting.
Oh, he actually, yeah, he notices and he's like, oh, sorry.
All right. So the office fades away, and it is replaced with like a dark, sort of a dim lit dungeon. And down a hallway, you guys can see the flickering torchlight getting closer and closer. And then pretty soon, you guys can hear the shouts of men and dwarves. And pretty soon, the camera is overrun. It becomes clear that the camera or the perspective of the vision is from the ground, and you see tromping feet and heavy boots stomping through the hallway, and then a very brief interlude, and then a horde of tiny little green goblin feet trooping after it. There's some screaming and shouting, and then the vision blurs and changes, and you see a massive chamber. It's shot from up on high, so all you get is kind of some notes of a huge stone dais, roughly in the center. That's cast in long shadows from the flickering torchlight of a small entrance as these human and dwarven figures run into view. Fleeing whatever is chasing them down to the hallway into this large chamber. They quickly survey the room, and then they say, we'll make our defense there, and they point to sort of a ramshackle pile of clay material, like detritus, ruinous, leftover crumbs of stuff. And so they dive, the figures dive into this sort of makeshift barricade, and then the perspective changes again, and you see the camera's looking just over the barricade into them, and you see terrified faces with grease swept onto them, little bloody cuts, and the weapons are at the ready, and one of them says, Nickelbane, I knew it would have been a fool errand to come this far down. And a rather rakish figure in extremely glimmery silver metal breastplate stands up and says, "Aha! But not for I believe we can triumph still." And then seems to almost drop his sword, but he recovers it, right? And he says, "Men, man the ramparts! We will defend to the last!" And pretty soon this green tide of goblins is heard more than seen, because you guys are looking over the four of the ramparts. It's heard coming back toward the camera, and the look of terror across these dwarven faces spreads. And all of a sudden, the goblins are on the ramparts, and a melee ensues, and the vision follows this Nickelbane, this tall human figure in gleaming silver metal, as she hacks away at one goblin after another. And it's despite the really action-packed angles and the quick cuts, right? There's a lot of like real close-up focuses on the sword, right? Impact, and then like a goblin falls over. At some point, it clicks in your guys' minds, kind of at varying times, that actually Nickelbane doesn't look like she's that good with this weapon. They're cutting it in a way that makes it look like she's better than she is, right? There's like a swing, and then one of the goblins falls dramatically over and pushes like three others down, right? And then at some point one of the dwarves gets cut and he's wounded badly. He says, "Nickelbane, save me!" And so Nickelbane hoves over to stop a goblin with a really sharpened looking little stick. And just then, Nickelbane trods on a what looks to be a pressure plate, like a tile in the ground just slits down, and then you guys just hear a little as a small bolt goes straight up, and Nickelbane makes a surprised eyes wide motion, and then she falls over, and there are gasps. And then everything seems to stop. Somehow the goblin attack, the camera doesn't really include what happens to the goblins, but they no longer seem to be in the picture. These figures are all standing around Nickelbane, and the one dwarf, maybe the most rugged-looking one, says, "Well, she wanted the full dungeon experience." And the camera pans over their faces, these assembled dwarves, and Just toward the end, there's kind of a look of horror among them, and just in the background, you see actually Mikhail, like his face, like stone still, just kind of in the background, little flickering torchlight. It's hard to make him out. It looks like he's hiding among the ramparts, but it's Mikhail. It's undeniably Mikhail. And then the voices say, "Well, what should we do?" and they say, "Well, I think I've got a friend who can take care of this," and they start dragging Nickelbane away, and the vision fades.
So I think you have some explaining to do. I don't know if anyone else caught that, right? Am I right?
Well, before we get into that, I just want to say that modern visions just don't have the cut and they don't have the authenticity of those old classics. I remember I saw a Jackie Chan vision once, and that is like a single vision, continuous. It follows the action around. You can see the action as though it's really happening right in front of you. So
I don't know. It sounds gimmicky, or like a way to work around a low budget.
I think or yes, if you don't have adequately interesting combatants, it's an easy way to cut. But I guess we should possibly address the elephant in the room, which is that there is someone who looks exactly like me who was in that vision, because obviously it was not me. I have never been underground with goblins and dwarves and some woman named Nickelbane.
So Aaron is now eating from the bag of coffee that he took off of Mikhail while he was backpedaling. And a lot of these visions, they sometimes happen in the future. It could be that you're going to be there.
Plot twist.
I suppose we should ask our seer. When did you receive this vision?
It came to me last night in a most terrible dream. I'm glad I kept the orb next to me. It's a little more action-packed than most of my dreams. I skipped past some boring parts at the beginning. I hope you don't mind.
A lot of that sort of backstory world building for things that they might have in the future that generally just don't pan out.
Yes, but all of it was so phony. It was just completely fictitious people and places. It was boring.
Is there a way we could scrub through that quickly? Maybe see if we see any other familiar faces?
He says, "Well, yeah, we could give that a shot. Sure." And he kind of goes back to the seeing orb, and if you guys all touch it, you get a quick and then it starts playing sort of in fast forward, right? And there's some introduction. They break into a dungeon, it looks like, and then they seem to disable some traps, and then a couple of the comrades fall, and then they seem to delve deeper into the dungeon, and there's a lot of heroic shots of Nickelbane striding forward confidently, and the rest of the crew bringing up the rear a little more cautiously, and eventually it does pause on one thing where Nickelbane says under her breath, "This is the best money I've ever spent. I'm coming back." But that's about it.
So
you guys do get the name of the lead heroic dwarf. Nickelbane refers to her, and she says, at some point she almost slips and falls off a precipice and is saved by a dwarf saying, "Oh, I tripped," and kind of bumping into her. And she says, "Thanks, Lane." And the dwarf says, "It's Lorne." And she says, thanks, Lorne."
So it sounds like there is someone in Lan Arcanym is running some sort of stage play, but with such an elaborate setup and the kick is that you participate in it yourself under the illusion that everything is happening, and there doesn't appear to be an audience for many of the shots that we saw. So is this an audience of one stage play production?
I feel
underplays the protagonist of a fictitious epic fantasy.
Mitch Wilson's. We've done this a couple of times before, usually for really rich clients, and we'll set up anything from like a murder mystery where they're the detective and they have to figure out who killed who at dinner. People love this stuff. We call it real life play rolling.
Oh, real life play rolling.
Yeah, or Ulper. Really rolls off the tongue if you try it.
What is that acronym?
Earl Pearl.
Roll Pearl?
Earl
Pearl.
Pearl. That's different.
Oh, it's a roper.
At some point, an elephant voice that's not as good at pronouncing that, even as you guys are, stomps its foot angrily. Well, officers, why are you still in my office? Go and fix the coffee pot while you're at it.
Aaron drops a few coffee beans on the chief's desk and is like, "I know it's gross, but it helps."
The nose sort of snorts him right up. She says,
Those were very...
That'll do for now, but bring me a cup of coffee. You guys better wrap this up before lunchtime. Need my coffee."
Mikhail puts the empty cloth bag back in his coat, sadly. And salutes.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like some people need to get some help in the office. Shannon whispers that to Mikhail, like, they need some help.
I thought that was a coffee fan, but...
All right, so Aaron, since you have mentioned that you do have contacts who've done this sort of thing before, give me a check that represents you sussing out your contacts and seeing where this might take you.
Yeah, for sure.
And describe to me how you do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Let's say I'm thinking back through my history of experience traveling as a performer and with all the contacts I've made over time. And that's not so good. I rolled 6 plus 4 is 10.
All right. So, this is gonna come to some personal cost, and the trouble is that you guys end up wasting just a teeny bit of time. You shuffle around. You recall somebody. Oh, go ahead.
Was it Jim the grabber? No, was it I'll send out a tweet to Jane over at the no, it wasn't. Oh, they said Lauren. Was that's not Lauren the merciless? And basically going through his mental Rolodex of like everyone that he's ever worked with or seen shows from, and it takes a while for him to.
He keeps sending out twits, and the bird, and he calls the bird back, and the bird comes back, and he has
wait. Yeah, rolling up tiny scrolls, sending them out.
All right. So eventually, after a great amount of time is down, and you do hear the chief snooting and snorting angrily around, and starting to wonder why exactly one of her officers was in this vision, and kind of realizing that's suspicious, and thinking that maybe as soon as she gets her coffee, she's going to suspend Mikhail just out of principle that he's involved in some way in a murder. That seems kind of reasonable. And then you finally get a little Twitter bird back that says that yes, the Dungeon Experience Traveling Company is in town. They have been for a couple of months, and they try and keep it on kind of the DL. It's an exclusive-ish clientele of people with money enough that they want to do this, but you know, it's rarely are the people who participate proud to have participated. But you do hear from an actor, a performing friend. And who is this performing friend, Aaron?
Let's see.
How did they get involved in the dungeon experience?
They've kind of bounced around from troop to troop. They have their fingers in a lot of like acting pies. Mm-hmm. So you might see them like playing a pirate at a pirate themed restaurant one week, but you might also the next weekend see them putting on a like being a backing character in like a 2-person show.
So somebody who had a rough and tumble background and then became a loose cannon sort of performer and maybe
it's more somebody that I know by name and reputation, and having seen them around than we've ever actually crossed paths.
Yeah. You do in fact recall Mr. Steelframe by reputation, or Lorne as he's known for his friends, a dwarf who you believe is in the dungeon experience now. So you guys hop a cab and ride over to the address that you were given on the tweet, which is somewhere on it's inside town. So you guys have to sort of go to this massive cliff face that's in Lan Arcanym and descend a ways, and then there's a cave entrance. And once you get past the first door, it's actually quite nice. They have pretty nice stone finished walls, and there's a pretty cheery atmosphere. A bunch of dangerous looking characters there, and you guys meet Lorne sitting in the lobby here.
So you guys, I would say you guys like walk up to the entrance of this place, and it's probably outfitted to look more realistic, that like to look like a real like dungeon entrance. And he's just kind of like this dwarf wearing like a head, like a leather duster, and like a wide brimmed leather hat, is just sitting there with like it's like fiddling with a crossbow, like a repeating crossbow style thing, and he like chewing on a cigar. He says, "Anyone here looking for some dungeon delving, slay some monsters?"
Not
So Shannon like quickly turns to Mikhail and Ellen, and Aaron, and she's like, I feel uncomfortable and intrigued at the same time. I don't know how to feel right now. I'm just putting it out there.
This is Lauren's specialty. It's
hard to hear.
Sorry, Mikhail, I stepped on you, but
No, please, Aaron, you continue, officer.
No,
There's a lot of whispering. I can't tell the difference between you guys. It's the same person.
Perhaps we should just address the dwarf who is definitely listening to us right now.
we're definitely whispering right in front of him.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Three.
Yes, hello. You're Lauren Steelbane, right?
Aye, famous adventurer, dungeon crawler, and monster slayer.
Man,
That's me.
I really loved you as the Wolfman across town at the murder mystery dinner luncheon. Sorry, Aaron Twilson. We're with the High Guard, but I love your work. I can't believe how busy you are.
He like, as soon as you say that, he kind of like looks around and like real quick, like kind of leans in, kind of grabbing your shirt. He says, "What are you doing, man? This is my job. Don't give me away."
Are we all playing in character? I would like to be a bard.
Ooh, good idea.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll do this in character, Aaron.
Hello, dwarf adventurer. I am a bard. Doodly 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 doo. We are here for adventure of the most adventurous caliber.
Look, it's obvious ain't none of you here for the dungeon crawling. What do you actually want?
Roses are red and violets are blue. This is a poem. We have questions for you.
Aaron's actually impressed. You get a slow clap for Aaron for that.
There's scattered applause throughout the sort of waiting room bar area underground, and just then a heavy door bursts open, and a bunch of beleaguered-looking ruffians with what you as police officers can identify as fake blood on their necks and bodies come in with a very small but heavy-looking chest, and they're patting each other on the back, and they're like, "Drinks, wine, we've succeeded, rah!" And there's cheers, and they say they're lying around, but they're not really.
Lauren will quickly rush away from the group and be like, go over to them, like congratulate them on their job, and good job slaying that goblin. You really got him. Now go enjoy your prize. And
there's
tell
two
all your
half-orcs. One is missing an arm and an eye, and the other one's really old in age. They both have pretty gray hair.
Yeah.
Bald spot, right? They're kind of moving slow. They look like these half-orcs have had glory days, but they've really missed them now. And with one tooth and one eye, it's kind of like, "Thanks, kid. Someday you'll be as good as me at this."
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, you just go enjoy your treasure, and you tell all your friends." And then he goes back to the group and says, "Look, if you want to talk, we not do it here in the lobby. We go back to my office, all right?"
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You guys filter back to Lauren's office. It turns out Lauren's office is also part of the lunchroom, the sort of the cafeteria. He has like a little partition.
It's like it's cafeteria, and then it's just a desk at the back.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you share the desk, but the guy sits on the other side of it, so it's it's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. There are a couple other desks. They've had a lot of business lately. It's hard to expand when you literally area the cave.
I noticed that your cafeteria does not have a coffee station. Is that like a rule, or is it like optional, or is your machine broken? Because that would be extremely coincidental and very unfortunate.
I don't believe in coffee.
No. Yes, we don't either. We are all abstain from caffeine in any form. Isn't that right, Officer Twilson?
And pretty soon,
Sorry, yeah, Aaron's heart is broken.
pretty soon, a figure wanders up and says, good, new guests. Can I get you anything? And large chef's hat and tentacles coming out of his mouth. Lauren, you know this is the head chef.
I say, Pierre, what are you doing?
I told you to stop calling me that, Lauren. It's Bobby Fillet, and you know it.
Bobby Fillet or Bobby Flair?
Bobby Fillet. Fillet. It's you need to pronounce the not pronounced T. It's Fillet. Bobby Fillet.
Okay.
And his two of his tentacles kind of rub together a little bit, like a nervous gesture.
Don't enable him.
Is he one of those really pretentious guys that like he whenever he says something in a different language, he's the accent, and he does like a really obviously contrived and very fake accent. I hate those.
He's a lunchroom chef.
Hey, I was not always merely a lunchroom chef. I had my own show. It was a live food preparation show out on the Grand Theater. Aaron, you know that is not true. It was great. It was a great show. The kind you'd never miss.
I'm sure.
I can't place your accent, Mr. What was your name, Mr. Gnome?
Officer Pavlovitskyevich.
Officer Pavlovitskyevich. I've been to every part of Lan Arcanym and the subsectors, and I've never heard that accent before.
Well, I'm not from Lan Arcanym. I am from a very powerful and faraway nation, and I've been here for 10 years. I've been here for many years, so it is not.
I've heard of every powerful nation around. They all buy my cookbook, and he points to Bobby's fillet, 10 fillets to make out of your animal, right?
I have never heard of your cookbook.
There's 10 fillets, and he counts them out 4 at a time.
Aaron actually leans over to Shannon at this point, and he's like, Do all people refer to their nations as powerful? Is this a thing that we organize nations by now?
Aaron, I this guy and his mouth and the spit, I don't even know. I can't tell you.
Okay, I just thought it was a weird thing that Mikhail did, but then that guy totally yes-anded it. So now I'm thinking, like, this must be a thing that I didn't know about.
Well, this is now. Hang on, because the Union of Separate Arcanian States is that it? I don't know, it's been a long time. We have a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda.
This is fantastic. You were here to ask questions, weren't you? Look, I got another group coming in here in an hour.
Well, I'm just trying to be polite. It is a powerful nation, yes. That is ingrained in my head from propaganda. I cannot talk about my homeland without saying powerful nation. But everyone has heard of them. They are very large and dangerous, and to be honest, a little unpleasant.
Sure, they have a name, right?
They do. I think I already said it. I think it is the Union of States of the powerful Union of Arcanian States is the name of it. The powerful Union of Arcanian States. I'm sure that is it.
Never heard of it, son.
Well, maybe it will help if I got the name right, but I think it is Powerful Union of Arcanian States.
Have a free one of my cookbooks. You want an autograph? That'll be $50.
No, that's not what the autograph.
He sort of spittles out of his tentacles. Fine. Well, if you want anything, come up to the counter. I'm there all day.
Do you need like a napkin or something? Oh, he slid away. Never mind. Sorry.
He was a very strange man. So we are here to ask questions. Yes, we will turn to the topic with Mr. Flagon. Lorne.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone named Nickelbane?
Oh.
Don't?
Should I?
I see that. I am concerned. I see the look in your eyes. We have information that says that a person who went by the name of Nickelbane was killed during one of your dungeon experiences, and that you were around at the time. That you were maybe a part of that dungeon experience, maybe not there at the time of the death, but that you were in the dungeon experience with this person. Do you assign... Mikhail stops talking in mid-sentence and starts thinking. Like, looks away from everybody else.
Look, I'm legally required to ask, are you all cops?
Yes, we are. We're members of the Lan Arcanym High Guard.
It's the badges, and when we said we were
Actually,
if you
Jeffrey,
didn't enter that, there would be entrapment.
in the new uniform, where would Aaron's badge be now? Is he still wearing a hat? It's just like now a pink sparkly hat?
No, so there's like a little flap on your left side, and if you lift it up, there's like a badge.
Nice.
Under there. Yeah.
Gonna be flashing a lot of this.
Don't lift up the other flap.
Yeah, no.
Why? What's
Oh! Cover up.
He said, yeah, we had a bit of an accident here last week. It's not a pleasant scene, but I don't remember the name. It's cold. My employers took care of all that.
Well, could you perhaps take us to one of your supervisor or your manager so we could speak with this person? I think that we think it may not have been an accident in the strictest sense of the words.
Do I assume like I know because I'm just the actor here. Like I'm just the like I just work the floor. Who runs the show here?
That would be Richard Pleasureby is the employer. In the end, you guys are all kind of somewhat independent contractors with the company. You don't get full-time benefits, right? It's however much work you can bring in, but the house takes a cut. And Richard Pleasureby, the half succubus, is who the person who would be responsible for doling that out.
Mm-hmm. And do I actually know, like, because obviously I was there when the accident happened, but like not my, I'm not like investigated. Do I know what happened with like after that?
That's a good question. Do you? I think that sounds like a skill check. Do you want to roll history or investigation or something? Let's see what you've uncovered to this point.
Yeah, I mean, I will I'll roll my investigation. He probably didn't delve into it, but maybe to see like what he kind of put together himself about the events. Mm-hmm. That is a nat 20.
Wow.
It's my critical roll die.
Wow. That's wow. You should be very proud. All right.
What does he know? Everything.
Yes. So,
all right, slap the cuffs on it.
No, I just remembered that I did it.
Lorne remembers that he did not do it. That's the first thing he recalls, is that he's definitely innocent.
Right. No, it wasn't me. Or someone else.
Okay. But yeah, he it starts to come back to him that he did in fact know Nickelbane. He was on the trip with Nickelbane. He was felled before they got down to the bottom chamber, but it's a common run that he makes. He was felled, so he really needed a bio break, So
one of the goblins is like, "Come on, hit me! I gotta get out of here."
Yeah. Basically, he just didn't dodge until one of them actually plunked him on the helmet, and he just fell over, and they dragged him away. It was great. Leave him be. Right, it was fine. He recalls that Nickelbane was a rather unremarkable individual, and he recalls that the death was due to poison on this trapped dart. He definitely knows that room room where they made it is often one of the final dungeon rooms that they end in the undercity of Lan Arcanym. It was excavated out some years ago, and it makes a good thematic place. But the actual skilled dungeoneers had thought they got all the actual poison traps, and there's no reason there'd be a poison dart there. So that was an incredible surprise. He also knows that this is not the only accident that they've had. Lorne is well aware of the safety record of the dungeon experience. And although turnover is high, everyone has a vague appreciation that this isn't exactly the type of place where, hard hats are required, right? You can go in with no helmet. Or where they say, like, employees must wash hands. They're not that safe. You guys get a fillet of fish brought out to you. set down. It's some sort of grouper white fish. It's got like little stalks of 6 eyes on each side of its face, and it's been cut neatly down the middle. Anything else?
Very well.
That'll be
Says-
fine. Thank you.
Back to the kitchen, Pierre. We're busy.
Stop calling me that.
He kind of he
His,
leans
his
in.
hat
He
in
says,
the back does in fact say Pierre, but it's been crossed out.
he says, so one of the people I escorted down to the depths had a bit of a mishap. I don't know what they did with the body, but I do know that, well, I wasn't supposed to go like that. It was a poison dart shot out of a place a poison dart shouldn't shoot out of.
So, I think it would behoove us to, if we could investigate the location in your experience where this happened, I think that would be good. Would that be possible, or it seems like I'm getting a yes vibe from you.
I can take you down there. There's just one hitch with that. Do you have a warrant? I don't think you have a warrant.
Not exactly.
Then you're gonna need to pay for tickets.
Fair enough. That is reasonable at this stage. Right, we don't have a warrant. We would have to go and get one issued, and the chief really said that if she didn't have a coffee by lunch, she was going to be very upset. So
There's no time to get a warrant.
In the distance, you guys, you swear you can hear some trunky trumpeting in anger.
you know what? I will bite the bullet on this one. You know, I know it's not something we all want to do, but I will step in front of the cart, the horse cart on this one. I will pay for everyone. We will do the experience.
Aaron was reaching for his wallet through the naked flap.
No.
He hears Mikhail say that, and he's like, "Oh, cool, great."
So, Aaron, you're supposed to wear the issued undershirt with the uniform, just for future reference. Always. Yeah. Just next time. Yeah.
So for the actual experience now, with my extreme investigational skills about what went on here, do I have any inkling that that the people that I work for, this pleasure bee, he do I get the sense that he was like trying to cover up the accident, or like?
You didn't get that out of your natural 20. You could go
sense motive.
You or someone else could pick up another roll to try to piece that bit together. I think, yeah. Whoever wants to construe a way to try and elicit that information and engage in it.
Mikhail is already going through the costume trunk. Out in the front lounge, like putting together his bard costume. He's got like puffy sleeves over his black trench coat. He's got a real floppy hat with a big feather in it. He's got a lute with no strings on it. It's not even Mikhail. Let's talk to Mr.
A passing fop, who also clearly has no idea how she's supposed to dress as a bard, says, "You look great. I love the hat."
It's very good. It's I think I might have to buy one like it. It's very good.
All right. And
Aaron is also he's very casually flipping through the costumes, the outfits, and he gathers some things. You can't quite tell what they are, and goes to the changing room.
Okay. So, Mikhail, make me a perception check just while you guys are milling about, and then Aaron, what are you doing in the changing room? Just changing.
Just changing.
Right.
Yeah, if you need to follow.
What are you doing in there? You don't need to know.
I was like, someone investigate pleasure bee, and you're like, I'm going to the changing room. Like, I don't know.
Oh, you say perception? It literally doesn't matter. So my perception check is a 6 total. I will say my feather does keep falling down. I have to push it up. So it's interfering foot.
Yeah. At some point, a one of the long-term veteran performers, Lauren, you know that she's been around for quite some time. She looks at you and she says, "Ha! I love the hat and the mask. You look just like that stone thing." Walks off.
Okay.
Walked off.
I heard this. You walked very quickly. I am very eager to get down into the specific room where this accident happened. I am curious. Do you have a lot of statues down there? A lot of like engravings or embossed things, or you don't really pick it up as part of you're so used to it at all.
Oh, you're talking to me? Sorry, I wasn't really listening. I have no, it's not you. I have a thing. I don't pay attention to bards.
Oh, but
I can't hear it when bards talk.
It's a curse, actually.
I am class blind. I don't see classes.
Actually, as I'm class blind, I don't see classes. Aaron walks in wearing the outfit that he chose, and I tried to paste the link in the chat, but we don't apparently allow image links.
I got it.
He's dressed all in black with black eye makeup, skulls everywhere, carrying a skull, and like, "What's up, everybody? I'm a warlock. Look at me. I'm so emo. Everything is so dark."
Not all warlocks are like that.
What? Not all warlocks.
Not all warlocks are like that.
Interesting, Bard. Tell me more.
Tell
me more about what all of our character classes are like. If you can see me through that feather over your eyes.
I see. I see what you have. I see. You think that and so you have. Okay. Well, this is.
We're all having a good time. We should bring it down a notch. It's not very warlocky.
Oh, that's. Well, I don't think I appreciate this very much at all. So is Shannon like putting on a costume at all? Is she putting on like a horrible monk robes?
No, she's not. The whole time she's been watching. Sorry, she's been watching Aaron try on clothes and watching flippin' Mikhail be blinded by a feather. Like, why are we doing this right now? Shouldn't we be catching murderers? That is what Shannon is doing, just quietly and resentfully in the corner the whole time.
Stamping one hoof for no over and over.
It's like, what are we doing here, guys? But that was a very great impression, Aaron. Just
thank you.
I was like, oh my God, is that Mikhail's brother? This is crazy. That's how it
There's
felt.
two of them.
That means a lot coming from you, Shannon.
All right. So, as our brave party of would-be adventurers have paid their fee and prepare to venture forth, doubtlessly dwelling into a bunch of dangerous dew, and having goblins jump out and yell surprise over and over before you guys are like, nah, we're not ready.
Yeah, no, he just waves them away. Like everyone's like, no, Jim, we're no, Jim, it's fine, Jim. Just take a break, Jim.
But we cut them now. We cut them.
I do have a. Okay.
No, Jim, take your 15. We got things to do.
Are you sure I could smite him a little with my magic? I'm a warlock.
My magic, I will smite him just a little.
Oh, you know what? My magic may not be powerful. Maybe the bard should play me some doodly-doo to power me up.
Jim looks left and looks right, looks kind of confused. Like this is real bad even for us. And then he's like, you smited me! And then he lies down and his little legs twitch a little and then lie dead. They're gone! My eyes are closed. Are they gone?
Can Lord be walking on on Disneyland on the ride? There's always that side, that area where the workers can walk.
Yeah.
It's hidden off to the side.
Yeah, a little clear path through the stuff. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a magnificent cliff face you guys have descended to, right, with the spiral staircase around a stalag tight, right? That descends into some sort of like a spiral thing. But it turns out there's a black metal grate that's just a little off to the side. Because it's black, you can never see it, right? But Lauren's like, it's like a creepy, like looks like it's narrow, treacherous path. You guys have been kind of inching along, and Lauren's just like tromp, 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 tromp. All right. So with that, I think our show is just about halfway through. So we are going to jump right into everyone's favorite part of the show, the break.
Aww.
What are we breaking?
Everything. Records.
You're the guest. So.
What?
Gonna put a 5-minute ticker up on the old. Wow, that's hard to see. That's a little better. So we got 5 minutes. We're happy to answer any questions in the chat about the show. And chat, any of our performers are welcome to take bio breaks or stretch breaks. Stretching does help repetitive stress injuries. Today's episode of Lawful and Orderly is brought to you by the Dungeon Experience. When you're tired of just killing regular monsters, when the games aren't enough for you anymore, get the full Dungeon Experience provided to you at a reasonable price.
It was not very reasonable. It was very expensive.
It was pretty expensive.
I really expected better out of those goblins for the price I paid.
Yeah. Hey, they're doing their best. They're goblins. Their perform skill pretty low.
Pretty tanked. We did have a question in the chat earlier by Mr. Jolly asking Shannon about her parents and the fact that she's a half unicorn. And
yes, we did.
Yeah, so I guess I missed the question. It's how did I become a half unicorn?
It's specifically, wait, a half unicorn? I'm afraid to ask how that happened.
Oh, well, sometimes when a man half unicorn loves a lady half unicorn and they get together, you have a Shannon baby half unicorn.
Now, I thought we had established in the past that one of your parents was a full horse.
Well, what I was going to say was I lucked up because my little sister is a half unicorn, or excuse me, she's a half unicorn, half person, but it's a bad mix, right? Like she got
Is it like layers?
Like zebra stripes? Just
like the feet are unicorn, and then like the legs are human, and then the torso is more unicorn, and then the head is human.
I like it. I like the combo.
That's worse than a vertical split, I think.
Clomp step.
I didn't know.
How do you guys get all the cams on stream? Is it just Skype? Excellent question. I spent a little bit of time investigating, and I've settled on Zoom as my preferred chat platform. It's you actually have to pay for it, which is a real bummer, but it's $15 a month for your basic license. And the great thing about it is that it instead of showing one giant camera for whoever's talking and a bunch of tiny ones for whoever's not, you can set it to show equal-sized images for everybody, which is much easier to window capture out. So
and I will throw on Zoom is I work with a lot of streamers all over the internet. Zoom is like the preferred method right now, mostly the cam thing, but also mostly because it's just a lot more stable. The audio and video quality is much better than Skype.
Yeah.
So if you're using it, if you're doing streaming like this as a thing, like you want to do D&C streaming, I would invest in it. It's worth it.
All right, we have a couple more sort of questions. So in short, in response to Jeffrey's answer, it was the wildest spring break ever.
You know, I don't really get to talk to my parents that much anymore because they're dead. But
that's right. Awkward.
This is weird. I don't know. Watch the past episodes.
Jeez.
Ripping off scabs.
Haven't watched episode 8 or 7. What was that
6? 6 is Holy Day.
Just watch them all. Watch them all, and you'll see.
But actually, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch past episodes.
Yes, it's a fantastic way to spend a weekend.
It is, or your work day. You don't need to be productive.
That's right.
I like that.
Jeffrey, that was such an amazing way to turn your character's personal pain into an advertisement for the channel.
And then there's a follow-up question about the Zoom question. Would it work if you were including Roll20? We could layer Roll20 obviously onto the top. You were going to say, Brian?
I was going to say I actually wanted to answer this because he seems to be interested in getting into streaming Roll20. My setup for streaming is a little bit different than theirs. They don't include a Roll20 window, but I definitely do. If you are interested in like how to get a setup for D&D streaming, my Skype is like right below me. You go ahead and like shoot me a DM or something. It's what I'm happy to help. Get your stuff set up and teach you how to make an overlay and do a D&D setup. I use Zoom and Roll20 on screen.
I'll second that. Brian was a great help when we were setting up our stuff, and if he's offering it out, it's a great resource. Take him up on it. All right, we got 10 seconds left for any last-second questions.
Yeah, last question. What are your favorite coffee drinks? Cold brew coffee.
Cold brew.
I don't drink coffee. No coffee.
I like plain hot coffee.
I like the red eye coffee with espresso.
I was thinking of a very different red eye from elementary school.
That's a pink eye.
Oh,
yep.
And before we go back, I have one last advertisement sponsorship that I'd like to read. If we're okay with that.
Shoot it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lawful and Orderly Special Visions Unit. It's brought to you by the hit reality stage competition, The Biggest Magic User. Each week we check in with novice magicians and see who can cast the biggest spells. Biggest Magic User. Watch it next time it's on. It's not a very well written ad, to be honest. Like I expect a better copy from a regular show like that, but
you know how it is. Like the promoters, they get real busy, they get lazy. And honestly, the kids barking out the ads on the street corner, like they probably don't listen half the time, so they're just making
Yeah,
it's everybody should invest in professional copy editing. Which is one of those things.
It's really important. Yeah.
That's all I have.
Right. So, let's see. You guys have descended further into the dungeon. You're pretty deep at this point. Right. Welcome back to Lawful and Orderly. How dare I miss the recap? So to recap, in this episode, Mikhail, Aaron, and Shannon we're introduced to a vision of an adventurer band that ran afoul of a poison-darted bolt. However, not all looked right with this band of adventurers. Something subtle was off, and it turned out they're all actors. So they met up with their longtime friend, or vague acquaintance anyway, Lauren Steelframe, one of the performers in the Dungeon Experience, who introduced them to a number of, or at least discussed with them, some other of the colorful characters around the Dungeon Experience, including Richard Pleasureby, the half-succubus who runs the Dungeon Experience as an adventuring experience, a paid experience to engage in what we've called real-life play rolling in the basements and the undercity of Lan Arcanym. And in addition to Richard Pleasureby, the half-succubus, there was also Bobby Fillet, the lovely, tall, tentacle-mouthed cook, head chef, who was once a performer himself, but apparently can't cut it. He does occasionally double as an arch-villain down in some of these crypts. So
that is profiling.
Okay. It is. And
but
Bobby Fillet will take the work when he can get it.
Hey, yeah, we call it typecasting. I'm a warlock. I don't know anything about doing stage performances.
Uh-huh.
All right. Our performers also got into costume, or at least two of them did. Shannon stomped her hoof in impatience, while Aaron and Mikhail played dress-up for a while. And now we've descended the dungeons to a large open chamber with an enormous central dais that is shrouded in darkness. As we return to the show, our four figures emerge to the flickering torchlight to this enormous chamber.
So while Mikhail is very concerned about the murder, he is very, very concerned about this statue that seems to look like him down here. So Mikhail is going to go look for this statue with his face on it.
Okay.
Does on the DL does Lauren know about this statue?
He doesn't recall anything specifically.
Like he's never seen the.
I feel like you're down here.
I mean, there's a bunch of crap down here, right? Of whatever weird cult occupied it last, and then the smashed bits of whatever weird cult occupied it second to last, right? Because it's not like they're hauling this crap out of the dungeons. They don't. That's not a thing they do. So it just kind of piles up of whatever weird cult is running it at the moment. And So yeah, so as Mikhail rummages through the weird crap, looking for a statue, what are the rest of you all doing?
So Shannon, okay. Unknown to Mikhail, Shannon is tiptoeing behind him, going to go see where he's at, and like kind of stalking him to make sure he's not like on the shady DL. But he doesn't know it.
No.
All right. Yeah. So Aaron is talking to Lauren, and goes looking for the trap, and it's like, so some pressure plate stuff. It's pretty standard. Do you know the tech crew that sets up your effects down here? You know who might have been on for that night?
There shouldn't actually be any effects down here, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable answer. I mean, just give answers, and if anything's unreasonable, I'll correct you. But
okay,
otherwise,
fair
just
enough.
go ahead and roll them down.
He says, there shouldn't be any working traps down here. I think that one over there is maybe set with a bunch of talcum powder in it, so it like when you pull a pin out.
Clearly a stream of talcum powder like down from a big hatch in the wall. There's like, it's been used a lot. No one bothers to clean up.
And he says, right up there over at the entrance, he kind of points back the way he came. He says, the goblins up there, they rolled some rocks off the edge of the cliff to make it look like it's a cave-in. So you got a cave-in just as you're running out of the dungeon with your treasure. It's a cool thing. But
yeah, that's a good look. Cool, man. All right, so Aaron is going to investigate for the location of the trap and see if he can find the spring plate and figure out what's going on.
All right. So sounds like Mikhail and Aaron are both making perception checks to me, and it looks like Aaron could add bonus to thieves' tools, except he can't because he's a warlock.
Oh, he's just a play warlock.
You also don't have thieves' tools as a bard, so there you go.
No, that's true.
Although I believe Lauren does, so you can probably I'll let both you and Lauren roll. How's that?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you'll ask for his help, he'll kind of help rummage around.
Yeah, can you help me find this thing? I mean, if it's not supposed to be here, it'll probably stand out to you.
Mikhail gets another 6 in perception. It's not his function. He's not a very good detective. He mostly like interrogates people. He's a good question asker.
Yeah. Apparently Aaron is having problems in this big ass warlock robe. He rolled a 5 perception.
So what do you want? Perception or investigation?
I was going to say perception, but if you can talk me into investigation.
No, I'll do perception. That's fine.
All right, and add your thieves' tools proficiency bonus, so an extra +2.
So that's 17 plus 6.
Oh.
Nice.
At least one of us knows how to roll. Of course, it's the guest. All right, for those of you keeping track at home, the scales of justice stand at 2 successes to 4 failures.
Yeah.
It's been a real suck parade tonight.
We got to start rolling for some real inconsequential crap.
I roll to pull the feather out of my face.
Nope, you just fail. That's all you do is fail. All right, so Mikhail, with his 5, he's
6.
You're 6. Pardon me. I mean, let's split hairs here, honestly.
Please.
With your 6, you were rummaging through this sort of fortification, this would-be wall where performers and their captives, their customers, will often dive behind, and you're rummaging around and you just can't seem to find this statue thing anywhere. You just like flabbergasted, and then at some point you just sit down and you're like thinking to yourself like, and then Shannon
make a very specific face.
She's very clearly 2 faces of yours with like the same stony blank expression, sitting among the detritus.
So I see 2 faces.
A good find.
You see Mikhail and then Mikhail, like about 3-4 feet down.
Are they the 2 statues?
One's Mikhail, and the other is Shen doesn't know. It's kind of like covered in more of a pile of like old broken clay tablets and pots and crap. But there's just like a face.
Oh my gosh. This kind of reminds me of a trademark movie that I've seen with 2 girls at the end of the hallway but won't mention. I'm not sure what's going on. Only if there was a way I could tell the difference. So one of them is a statue and the other one's an actual Mikhail, right?
It's what you're assuming, yeah. One of them is very clearly...
Can Can we get a roll on this? Can we do like a medicine check? Like maybe I have some sort of concoction that I can whip up and throw in the air.
I think just asking him, one of them will move. And in fact, one of them is currently dressed in a Fonzie hat, and the other's not. That's a pretty dead giveaway.
Let's suck all the fun out. Let's suck all the fun out. Oh, Mikhail has the hat and is alive. Yep. I solved the mystery.
You did. Meanwhile, while Shannon's solving this mystery, Lauren and Aaron, you guys are rummaging around and you're looking for this pressure trap. And then, Aaron, you feel sort of a slight stinging sensation in your upper thigh as a bolt that you've just stepped on a pressure trap embeds itself in you.
There's a trap there.
I noticed.
And, go ahead and make a Constitution save against poison for me.
All right. Remind me how Constitution saves work.
You roll a d20, add your Constitution saving throw bonus.
My saving throw bonus, which is somewhere here on this sheet of mine. Oh, man. Where is it?
It's just your Constitution bonus unless you're proficient with Constitution.
Oh, I see. +2.
saves.
Okay. Woo! 18 plus 2.
Hey! You no more failed boat for you. All right, so you managed to kind of will a bit of the poison away, and then Lauren's expert hands work the remainder of the dart out with his extremely good roll at perceiving the trap. And then you guys you stare down at the pressure plate, and you can kind of take it apart, and it is old and looks at least a few inhabitants of the chamber old, but it looks like Lauren got an incredibly good roll. So he knows with his savvy in trap making and trap mechanics that it looks like it's been here for some time, and it was disabled for a long time, but somebody apparently found it and deliberately re-enabled it, and then poisoned the darts.
Wait, so the original trap was just an annoyance dart more than anything.
Well, I mean, the poison wears off, right? I mean, you can't just leave poison-tipped darts for 100 years in a dungeon. Someone has to maintain that crap.
There's a shelf life for poison. I did not know that. I'm learning so much today.
And they have to keep coming out and put the Mr. Yuck face on it if it stayed around forever.
It's true. All right, so back to Shannon and Mikhail. Shannon, you see two Mikhails, one in a hat.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, Mikhail, oh my god, we totally walked the same direction and didn't know the other one was walking. What did you find?
I found a big fat nothing. I was hoping to find a statue that looked exactly like me, or at least a face or something, but I found nothing here. Mikhail takes up his hat and puts it just on the... he just reaches out to put it beside it. It's on that. And he takes off the puppy sleeves. It's just so this frustrating. It's concerning to me that there was a statue with my face on it. And now I can't find it. He puts the sleeves down, and they just they sit next to the statue. They look like they're on. I don't know if whatever this is has shoulders, but they look like they're sitting on shoulders. But apparently maybe it was a trick of the vision or just my luck, but I can't find it.
Oh, lame. Well, you're gonna go back.
Have you, Shannon? There's no way. Yeah. You haven't seen it anywhere. It looks like my face. By any chance you have not seen it? You would not lie, believe you.
No, what? Come on. Look at this face. We go way back.
That's the shame. This was going to be a big mystery. It might have delved into, more things. I guess we'll never know. How very sad.
All right. You collect your hat and your shirt.
It's just the sleeves.
Yes, your sleeves. And meanwhile, Aaron and Lauren, what are you guys doing?
Weird. So somebody really set this. I really hope nothing dramatic is going on the other side of the room. It seems like somebody must have set this. Is there anybody on the crew you know of with that technical proficiency?
Yeah. Now because on my 26 perception check, I noticed the shit out of this trap. It's common among sneaky thieves to sign their work. Is there a signature on this trap?
All right. All right. With your over 20 roll, I'll give you this because you're right. It is common amongst sneaky thieves to sign their traps, especially a real sneaky skullduggery one like this. And you're pretty sure you would have seen a signature. You checked all in the normal places, and you don't. And so the only conclusion is a sneaky thief did not reset this trap.
I say, when someone puts a lot of work in and like hires a professional to kill someone in a really strange and roundabout way.
Sure, see it all the time. Did I tell you we work for the High Guard? We're investigating a murder. We really need to start leading with that more.
This ain't one of those times.
Okay, so you think this was not a professional job?
No. A professional would have been cleaner. Also, probably would have signed a name. They're nice like that.
God, I'm learning so much today.
Does does it look like any specific tools were used to do this? Like not thieves' tools? Would they are there like tool marks, makeshift or otherwise?
Now that sounds like a different sort of check to me.
I have all kinds of checks.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you your stone cunning history.
Oh my god. What does 2x mean? Does that mean advantage?
No, it means you get +4 bonus on top of non-proficient history. I don't remember if you're proficient in history.
I am not, so
you just get +4 on top of your bonus. I think is a 2.
You got it. I got a 3.
So total of
7.
7.
No, wait, no, total of
9.
9.
Because +6. Wow.
Yes.
That's +6, and you didn't beat 10. That's another failure for the scales of justice for the folks who are keeping track at home.
They're gonna uninvent coffee.
Yeah, Mikhail's gonna be permanently off the force. It's just too suspicious. You guys found no evidence of a statue. He's clearly guilty of murder. He's going to jail.
Yeah, so Mikhail, having put his hat and his puffy sleeves back on, decides. Oh, what?
But just to round out that check, so you got a 9 total, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So you're pretty sure this was not done by thieves' tools.
Okay.
You don't know exactly what kind of tools it was done by, but you know
it was Pierre.
What?
From across the room, you hear a "Stop calling me that!"
Well, what's he doing down here? He followed us all the way into the dungeon. That is suspicious.
No. He lives down here.
Oh.
Ew.
And he actually does weed out of the shadows since we've introduced him now. And he's in a ridiculous, arch sorcerer outfit with huge shoulder pads that, curve up into a circle, right? And he's got a big staff that looks like it was, made out of some cheap wood and then painted to look like it has runes on it, right? And then with a cheap crystal that's all foggy and gross at the top. And he's like, so, There's an 11 o'clock coming in. Are you guys still going to be in here? Because the goblin rampage and then the casting thing.
Aaron is like, wait, I got something for this. Hey, we're paying customers, and I'm a warlock. I cast something dark on you. Shadow magic.
Mikhail hears this from across the room and stands up. Diddly-doo. Goblins and ogres, mercenaries and guards. Never fear, everyone. It's me, the bard.
Who was that for? That was a song to buff yourself. You're a terrible bard.
At least I have that stereotype.
Avast! Come at me, bros! And he kind of accidentally drops his staff and then shakes his arms real big, like, "Rah, ooga booga!"
Can Shannon just like pick up his staff and just knock him over the head with it? Can we just like see what that's like?
It breaks.
Give it a shot, please.
Yeah. It makes a very hollow-sounding thunk, and he's kind of clobbered a little bit, and the fake foggy crystal shimmers down onto the floor, and you hear it skipping out into the darkness. He's like, why would you do that? Now I've got to find a new power of Ogum crystal. Yeah, that's treasure.
Pierre, were you here when the person died the other day?
Oh, what person? Are these cops?
No.
Oh, yeah, the accident. I was here.
He did quotes with his tentacles.
Right. Who set the dart thing?
Dart thing?
Yeah, it was an accident with the dart plate, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the one that killed the guy? I didn't know it was a dart plate. I was here, but I was waiting, for my cue. They never got to the dais. Shannon and Aaron are both close. Both of you guys give me an insight check.
Couldn't it have been something that I have proficiency in? I got a 12.
Hey.
Oh, well, I got a 20 plus 5.
Holy shit!
What?
Mark that success.
All right, one failure and one success go on the. Yeah, I know.
We gotta get over the top on that.
But with a nat 20, Shannon, you're pretty sure this tentacle-faced horror, clearly not from above. This tentacle-faced horror from above is very clearly lying. Like lying through his tentacles.
I mean, where else would he lie through?
It's a good question. I mean,
Very good question.
All right.
So, yeah, I feel like you're lying through your tentacle because you don't have teeth or gums or lips. So, something else you want to share with us,
What are you
buddy?
talking about? No, I'm perfectly legitimate. This whole job is a lie, basically. You guys didn't eat your fillet of fish, did you?
No, we did not, and we are not going to.
Then I'm not helping.
Hey,
How is he sliding on his back? Can someone explain that to me? He just like slides like a
His arms
trail
and legs.
of poop on the
He just does
floor.
this while he moves.
Guys, do you see this trail? Can somebody clean this up?
Wait, is he? Did he leave? He's gone.
Yeah, he faded into the
Did he
darkness.
just walked over to the corner?
He actually walked 30 paces out into dim torchlight, and now he's looking around for that foggy stone. He's like, where did that go? I need that.
All right,
It's
so
11 o'clock.
Aaron's gonna follow him and say like, "Hey, Mr. Fillet, I gotta say, I thumbed through that book you gave to Mikhail, and there's some good stuff in there. I feel like you're good for this role, but like your talents could really be used elsewhere. What is it that has you down here? I mean, there's some shady stuff going on here, right? Like you don't need to hang around a place that's like accidents, offing people." And trying to buddy persuade him, like, as a fellow performer, like I could hook you up, man. I could get you out of this place. Like your show sounded like a cool idea. I know some promoters I could put you in touch with.
Ooh, this sounds like a persuasion check with advantage because you are right up his deal.
All right, thank God for advantage. I'm not going to tell you what that one was. Yes, I will, because the second one was worse. I rolled a 5 with persuasion being +5, so I got 10.
What was the second one?
The second one was a 4. I rolled a 5 and a 4.
All right, the brick parade continues here, ladies and gentlemen at home. It's been a whole good time. And he says, But if you'd really liked my show, you would have had my fillet of fish. You know, I catch the glow-in-the-dark night grouper right down here. They taste much better when they're caught fresh when the phosphorescent lights up the Underdark here.
Oh man, it sounds really unique. I ate half of a bag of coffee beans before I came over here, so I don't think I could keep anything down right now.
Disgusting.
He says, well, there's my stone. And he puts it back in his staff, and he says, well, you got another 5 minutes to get the treasure and get out of here before the next group. And he kind of...
So, Mikhail, having apparently just given up on not finding a statue, I guess he's never going to find it. He goes off in search of the treasure.
Give me Mikhail, you are trained in Arcana, right?
I am, because I'm a warlock and I know magic.
I'm sorry, are you a warlock?
All right. Everyone who is or is pretending to be a warlock, as you guys are standing around, well, Mikhail's the one looking for it. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
I will, and I'll make a good one too.
We'll see.
No, I won't. I'll make a very bad one. It was 7 total.
Oh! Pretty soon, nobody's going to be able to see Ask Ren as the failure bar stacks up past his face. This is the highest we've ever had, the scales of justice, and it's pretty unjust at the moment.
Now, I have a question, because I do not understand how this works. Does that pay off eventually? Like,
yes. So just to take a brief aside, every episode has a trial by your peers at the end of it, where our voting audience of our they all pull jury duty, and they get to vote to convict whoever we stick with the crime. Right. At the end of 2 hours, we try somebody for something, and they get to vote to convict or not. But then the scales of justice affect the second plot, or the B story of the episode. And in this episode so far, it looks like the B story is Mikhail finding out why there's a statue of him and not getting suspended from the force for being suspiciously in the place where this dude was murdered. So if the scales of justice at the end are a failure, then Mikhail will then presumably be suspended from the force. If they're a success, then maybe we'll find out what the statue's really all about. So far, it's 4 to 8.
Can we just get a few more successes on the board? Just
we just need a couple more, like 4 more with no more failures.
Let's power through a bunch of. Let's just go through as many scenes as quickly as possible. Okay.
Some rolls.
Just grind out some rolls. Okay. So I did not get a success. What did I find when I was looking for what do I find the treasure? Did I eventually stumble upon it? How do I?
You find yourself in the middle of a massive dais. This dais in the middle of the chamber, right? And it's just enormous. Like, must be 80 feet across and like 10 feet up. There are a couple spiral staircases at different places that go up to it. And it's decayed a little bit over age, and some of the chunks of roof have fallen in and smunched up kind of this weird arcane symbol that you're paying no attention to whatsoever. And while you're looking at the ceiling and the walls and anything but this dais on the floor, Aaron, our local warlock, gets an amazing insight that you're standing on top of what used to be a teleportation circle.
Hey, dude, that looks like some wicked arcane magic. I'm a warlock. If I was gonna teleport somebody, it would probably be there. Dark, emo.
Can Lauren go? Can Lauren go over and screw in one of the LEDs that went out in the circle?
Yeah. If by that you mean light emitting die match, yes.
Yes.
It's like a 2-headed match. You just
It's a magic thing. You plug it into the light line.
Torch. You guys have So you reset the ever-burning torch, and it starts to glow with pretend magical energy. So it's clear that it no longer is a teleportation circle with the giant stones in it and the fact that they've lit it up with fake ever-burning torches. But it once was a teleportation circle. Maybe of a similar vintage of a statue that you guys have not found. Nobody's seen. Really? Okay. Very mysterious.
So,
all right. So it's really getting close to 11. You guys are starting to hear like echoes of combat and goblins coming down the hallway into this main chamber.
Oh.
Sundial.
Jeez. Shannon, have you found anything?
No, I
Anything
haven't.
helpful? Have you found anything, Shannon, of any sort that might?
I keep trying to find stuff, but whenever I get an inkling to just go out and roll, I'm not allowed. So I haven't been finding a lot.
Why don't you just take a look around? Have you seen anything in the time you've been down here that might be relevant to any of us?
Shannon has seen no statues of any sort.
I
forgot. What about that thing where we saw Mikhail's face in the vision? Mikhail, you were going to go figure that out. Did you figure that out?
I did not find any statue. I looked around very hard. I sat very still for a brief period of time and made a very specific face. I took off my sleeves and hat, put them aside without looking for a minute, picked them back up without looking, and came over here. Nothing.
We got time.
I feel like I hate to live in the past, but I feel like maybe I did see something, and I thought I asked Mikhail if he saw something, and I thought he was saying no. It was a weird moment. I was thinking about Aaron's chest flap, and it just got away from me. I did see don't be weird about it. I did see a statue.
I didn't bring it up.
He strongly resembled Mikhail, and I thought Mikhail saw it, and was just, I don't know, not noticing.
Oh shit! Where is it? Let's go look at it.
It was down the hall where.
You guys scramble onto the other side of the dais in this sort of fortification area of detritus, and a little bit of digging unearths a stone statue that is the spit and image of Mikhail, with the exception that Mikhail is not hollow in the back.
Oh.
I checked my back just to be sure.
Yeah. A double check reveals that you are definitely not hollow. You thunk on your back, different places. Nope. All solid.
Is it like how hollow? Is it like completely hollow that he could step inside?
No, not like creepy wearing it like a mask hollow. Like there's the kind of hollow that you do in statues so that they're way less and you can move them easier.
So Aaron goes around to the back of the statue to look in, but he also puts his hand out with the skull that he's holding and is like, I'm a warlock, while he's looking
Go
inside.
ahead and roll an Arcana check, warlock.
While you're doing that, I will tell you, Officer Twilson, I will not hesitate to speak to HR about this.
Rolled a 12, and I said, I'll see you in HR together because you've got some Bard issues to work out, my man.
12 total?
Well,
12. Well, I don't have any bonuses in Arcana. So
you're not trained. You're a warlock. Why are you not trained in Arcana?
Okay, if the robes and the skull give me a bonus to Arcana, then we'll throw them in there.
All right, that's one more failure on the scales of justice, and after a while, you get this vague sense. It's DC's 10 plus spell level, and it ain't a second level spell. It's really a shame. But you get this after staring at it like I'm a warlock. Mikhail, you realize that what he's not noticing is that. This statue in the hollow, it might be hollowed out for weight, but it's got an unusually flat bottom and top, and it's kind of bell-shaped. You kind of recognize it as about the shape of that soul jar that spare soul jar that you found in the basement.
It's interesting. Look, the shape is such that this would function very similarly to a soul jar. It would, I suppose, catch or receive any incoming souls if someone had died or if for some reason their soul had been separated from their body. Why is it shaped like me?
And while you're wondering that, suddenly out of the small entrance you guys came through, a party of 4 heavy-set, unathletic adventurers heavingly stagger through, along with dwarven accompaniment, and they say, "Quickly, to the barricades!" and point where you guys are and start barreling your way.
Okay, so I will kind of and I run over to the guy, the actor that's leading them, because there's got to be one. I say, look, Tim, we got a little hold up here. Are the little guys coming?
The right. I mean, yes, mighty liege. I'm just going to treat with this fellow. They're right about here. What's the holdup? What can we do?
Shit.
Aaron at this point looks up over watching all of this and looks at Mikhail, and it's like, Now is your time to shine, buddy. Let's do this. Steps out and says, "Adventurers, at last you are here. We've been hiding from these terrible goblins, and now with our combined forces, maybe we can stand this out. Quickly, Bard, play us a song to give us strength for this battle. I'll use my warlock powers to do some totally reasonable magic."
Yes, I find that warlock powers are very reasonable and often helpful in many.
That's absolutely correct. Yes.
And bard powers are invigorating and it should be classified as literature.
I'm glad we're having this moment.
So as Mikhail has this long, boring conversation basically with himself, a couple of flabodynamic adventurer types with over-shiny armor and their reasonably competent dwarven companions bail behind the fortifications. One of the larger of the two adventurers, an elf who's really let himself go, it takes cover immediately behind the Mikhail statue because it's about the right size-ish, right? I mean, he's like ducking down, right? But it's kind of the biggest, sturdiest thing, and he's like, two arms! And he gets a little short bow, and they don't exactly have red rubber tips on them. They basically have red rubber tips on.
Yeah, they're foam tipped arrows. Yeah, he has Lauren will kind of like assume his like actor pose, like on top of the ramparts with his crossbow pointed down, like really heroically, because he has to maintain his image.
Nice. And just about that time, a wave of well-timed green goblins come out, like, get them! Eat their bones with our blood! Is that what you say? I don't remember. Quiet! Kill them! Stab them! Poke them many times!
This is really setting Goblin Knights back 50. This is the sort of thing that makes
he kind of hisses. He says, "Look, they agreed to do the job," and then he'll say, "Heroes, slay them all."
No, we won't be slain! Ah! And then they breach. As if waves upon a beach, they wave up and then they stop and go back over and over, just like waves do.
So Aaron steps forward and he's like, I cast magic missile. I think that's a thing a warlock does, and he casts light on he casts light on the front of one of their armor. So like his armor just like lights up blindingly.
It goes ah, and like two of the goblins next to him are like, oh, us too! Ah!
And I will sing a bard song, and Mikhail holds out his hand, and just a bolt of bright blue crackling energy erupts out of his hand and crashes. He didn't hit anybody with it, but it crashes through the goblin ranks and just sends them all scattering.
That looked like it was Hurdy. It was Hurdy. No Hurdy.
Do friends.
Okay, we'll need to talk about how bard things work. I made an honest mistake guessing your spell, but I feel like you could really hurt somebody just now.
Okay, sorry.
After a little bit of a drama due to the actual pyrotechnics show, the goblins are handily defeated. The elf who'd been taking cover behind not Mikhail stands up and says, "What ho and well met."
Yes, well met.
My name's Moonboots. What's yours?
That's a fancy name. I see you're not wearing any shoes. What's that?
I'm kind of going for a barefoot thing. It's for my running, except my knees have been acting. I mean, shoes are no good for me. and he kind of rattles the sword or something. He says, I prefer the feeling of the bear dungeon. I know my way around it so well. Watch as I light my sword on fire. And it also, it's like a switch on it, and it casts light spell, right?
Ooh.
Got himself a little lightsaber.
So do you come down here? I like the sound effect, of course. That is I think that sound effect might be trademarked, but I'm not 100% sure.
What do you mean? It's really coming from the sword.
Yeah, I see it. Oh yeah, you got me real good. Please just Mikhail just pushes it away. Away. So are you a regular down here, or is this your first time?
I've come down to slay the the evil, wicked dangers of this
Yes. Okay.
dungeon many a time. And
Oh, good. That's what I wanted to know. And in those times, have you ever heard about anyone having any accidents and being injured or even killed by the deadly dangers of the dungeon?
We lost 2 dwarves on the way. It was extremely epic.
Anyone other than the dwarves who often accompany brave adventurers like you?
And then one of the dwarves that's accompanying them, Lauren, you know this dwarf's name is Larry.
Yes.
Larry says, "Yes, ixnay on the accident vey."
Mikhail just flashes his badge at the dwarf.
Yeah, he says, "Look, Larry, why don't you? We got a bit of a thing. Why don't you take your group, go to the end? We got
All right,
Larry, take them up to the dais and to the treasure.
onward to the dais, and then they charge you up, and then there's a little. You didn't expect to see me here. Up there, and you guys hear the clanging of some whoosh, 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 and then clump sounds as they hit a large staff, and that kind of goes on in the background.
So Mikhail would like to pick up the statue.
Okay, it's surprisingly not as heavy as you would have guessed,
Okay.
but it's good that you're capable of push-ups because it's at least as heavy as you.
Excellent. Perfect. So I guess I would like to. I'm just going to carry it with me while.
Mikhail, are you sure you don't want me to like?
No, I've got it. It's good. It's fine.
Okay.
It's my burden. It is literally my
Look,
burden.
I all I got is the skull. I could put it away. I could carry the statue.
Everything's fine. It's under control.
Since they have this statue, I'll say, look, if you want to get out of here, there's an exit door right over there.
Yes, let's head towards the exit door. I think we have not found much down here. I think it is time to go speak to your manager, your supervisor, and find something out. This has been a real suck fest out here.
Look, whatever. I just need to take on another. They pay me by the group.
I've already paid. Just
What?
I paid you for your time. Our time is not up yet. You're going to come with us. This is part of our adventure.
Just think of it as the next step.
Yeah, next step, 10 to 20.
All right. So apparently the 5 of you troop back up the stairs through the staff exit. The lighting in the staff exit space is much less dim and dark. It's more blinding and utilitarian, as they have a thick cover of fluorescent lichen and yeah.
So we're on our way to find Dick Pleasureby.
Yes. Yes.
Perfectly normal, not at all weird name.
No, for a half succubus, he's completely normal. It's absolutely average. Yep. Ordinary every day. All right. You guys troop back upstairs. You emerge back into the luxurious confines of the lunchroom, and just a small narrow hallway down the way from there. You guys discover a rather smaller door than normal, but a little nicer too. And it says etched into a little brass plaque on it. It says Richard Pleasureby, Esquire the Third, and it has little doolies on the bottom and top to make it extra fancy.
The title of Esquire is not as easy to get as it looks. I think this may be embellishment.
I'll knock on the door. Hey, Dick, we got customers want to talk to you.
Why? Customers? Oh, I love customers. Send them in right away. Oh, good. Don't you look like strapping adventurers? Are you ready to plunder the depths of my dungeons?
So Shannon crouches to get in the room, and she's crouching because the ceiling is so low.
As they're walking in, he'll say, If he mentions his dungeon, he's not talking about the cave.
I don't understand. Oh.
Yeah. Let's not say the D word.
Come in! Can I do anything to make you more comfortable?
You cannot use any more innuendos. That's how you can make me more comfortable. That's it.
Oh, maybe if you'd like to stand, the floor slopes this way. If you'd like to stand over there, the ceiling will seem taller. I would know nothing about making things look taller. How can I help you, brave
I'm gonna go
adventurers?
stand over there. Okay.
So at this point, Aaron starts to undo the cloak and the costume and drapes it over a chair, or if there's a coat rack.
Fabulous! I see you dressed as an absurd version of the High Guard. That's ridiculous. I love that outfit.
Thank you. It's actually a trial for the new uniform, and he starts to reach for the wrong flap. And then reaches for the badge flap and says, "Actually, we are here from the High Guard."
Oh, and he kind of squints very, very closely at your badge and you. That, son, is an excellent performance. I'd know a Twilson anywhere. Are you looking for work? We have positions. Oh, Lorne can attest to our fabulous benefits. All the dungeon floor you can sleep on. Yes. For those who choose to sleep, I don't myself, but
I don't know, Mr. Pleasurebee. I've worked for a lot of promoters and showrunners in my time, and you've got quite an attrition rate here, both for performers and the audience.
Why? Whatever do you mean? I don't know what could possibly happen to our audience. I mean, maybe they've adventured their last and they go on to do other grand things. The important thing is, I guess they pay in advance. So I don't keep track of the whereabouts of anyone. This isn't an inquisition. Who invited you in? Could I get you some tea?
It's a lot of questions, just like rapid fire.
It's chamomile. And he pours some little dainty cups and hands them out.
Oh, thank you. This is very good. This is decaffeinated chamomile, though, I can tell, correct?
No! I there's a trace of caffeine in there. Like I said, I don't sleep. There's too much to do, too many people to see. Or, well, switch that the other way.
Oh, all right. Oh, I get that one too. That's another one.
Sorry to throw this in. Mikhail, are you still carrying Statue Mikhail?
Yes, I've set Statue Mikhail beside myself. I took off my puppy suit and hat. I put them on.
My word, son! You've got a friend. That's incredible. That's uncanny. And he pokes you in the nose, and he pokes other Mikhail in the nose. The things I could do with twins. Are you looking for more work, son?
I am looking at Mikhail flashes his High Guard badge for a murderer, and we've only spoken to 2 named NPCs so far, and you're by far the sketchiest.
The process of elimination.
So let me ask you a question. Do you know?
Have you asked Bob at accounting? Bob, much more dangerous name than Dick.
I haven't met him, and he does. I bet his voice is very bland. You have very. So let me ask you, do you know anyone by the name of Nickelbane?
It doesn't ring a bell at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. Beads of sweat, pumpernickel on his forehead. Anybody wants to roll an insight check, try and get the scales of justice back?
I would like to make an
I just want to make an insight check on whether that's a real verb or not. I've never heard anyone use the word pumpernickel before in that context.
When you want to pump the nickel, am I right? Am I right?
That sounds almost like a confession.
Delightful. Capital.
It's
right?
starting to sound like a confession. So, yeah.
Can I make an intimidation check?
Why? How bad was your insight check?
I didn't make an insight check. I'd rather make an intimidation check because, I'm not trying to tell. I don't care whether he's lying or telling the truth.
I just want to get him to confess either way.
That's the Mikhail Pavlovitsky way.
All right.
No, I want
put the Pavlovitsky patented thumb screws to him. You might say, yeah.
Don't use the thumb screws anymore. Okay, good. This is a better one. This was 15 total.
15 will do it.
Oh, thank goodness. So Mikhail sets his statue up on the guy's right side, and then he stands slightly to the left of him. And I back him into a corner, put the statue on one side and me on the other side. I just
I'm seeing in stereo. Such delightful little men.
All right, Mister. He takes that floppy hat off the statue. I am no longer playing the Mr. Nice Guy. I am being very serious now. And you must know that we suspect you for murder, not only on one count, but on multiple counts. And if you don't provide us with accurate information that we need to solve this case, I will have you strung up for any number of murder charges. We will go through the entire guest list of registries of customers, and we'll have you put up on counts for all of them.
Oh.
And that won't be good for business, will it?
Oh, that's no.
You know to be in charge when you're gone.
Succubi do very hard time. Very hard time. Oh.
So yeah, Aaron wants to help press on this with the good cop routine, where it's like, I know you must have worked really hard to renovate this place down here. It's never easy coming in with a previous production, especially one that's as dangerous as cult on cult violence. It would be a real shame to see all this go to waste. And I tell you what, Officer Pavlovitskyevich doesn't mess around. He scares us.
That sounds like a persuasion check to me.
That's a 17 plus 5.
Hey!
Oh.
Finally. We're now only 3 failures behind.
Oh, God.
All right. So he says, yes, if as long as you promise to protect me from him and him too. Oh, it's look, okay, so occasionally people disappear. I mean they're independent contractors like Lorne. I mean, Lorne, you're a great example, but there are some others that are, I'm sure, less scrupulous, and maybe if people get hurt downstairs or possibly killed, they're not proud of coming here always. Our customers are a little they keep to themselves, right? And so look, I just want to give pleasure to people, and sometimes our repeat customers don't come back, or fewer people come out of the door back into the tavern as went in, and I look the other way. It's not my fault. Oh dear. Tea?
I would love some more tea. Thank you so much.
I knocked the tea out of his hand. No tea. If it is not you committing these murders, but you are an accomplice to murder, you realize you will still suffer the same consequences. Now, if you can tell us who you think might be behind the murders, then maybe we could get you immunity and you could continue to run your operation.
The murders? As far as I knew, they were accidents. I couldn't imagine that anyone could possibly be murdering.
So Aaron leans over and starts to pick up the wrong Mikhail, and then realizes which one is which, and picks up the statue Mikhail and points at the symbol that's carved into it, the arcane symbol, and is like, when you took over this space, I know you used a lot of the old decor because it's convenient, but how much did you dismantle the functionality of this space for the previous cults? Is it possible that they're still operating out of this space after hours?
No, I'm sure that well, I mean, we don't run during the day, obviously. I don't know what kind of cult would use the Undercity at day, am I right? They'd have to be allergic to sunlight or something, and that would be strange, but no, we hired some natives as cast members, and they assured us that the cults were all gone.
I have a question. Does your cafeteria serve garlic any day of the week, or is that like do you guys ever have garlic fries or like a garlic aioli or anything?
No, actually, since you mention it, no. Bobby Fillet is on a no garlic kick. He's told me.
Oh,
he's doing a fusion. I don't recall what it was. It was like a fusion of he called it sentience. Fusion of sentience. I don't know what that means. Please don't hurt me. Tea? Picks up
no
the pot,
tea.
gets
Yes,
a
I
new
would
tea.
love some tea.
No, he knocks out his skin.
Ah! Why would you keep doing that? Tea is a lovely thing. It's chamomile.
Does it keep breaking a cup every time?
It's like
no, I hope
delicate little
not.
china.
I hope not. Well, listen, Mr. Pleasureby, you stay here. Do not leave the city,
Oh,
and we will continue investigating. And hopefully, if you're telling us the truth, your operation maybe can continue. Although I'm thinking that perhaps criminal negligence and
no.
there may be some charges pressed. But you know what? Right now,
No, they're independent contractors. Tell them, Lauren. There's a long agreement that they sign, and half of it's blank. I can write in anything I want.
that definitely sounds like something for the lawyers to work out.
Look,
I have a very good ombudsman.
look, I don't care if you shut this place down, but the pay was decent, and well, I got to feel like my old self again. So I like working here more than I like doing acting jobs at the local interpretive dance theater.
Oh, come on. You did good work there. I've never seen anyone so free on stage. Lorne.
All right, Mikhail picks up the other Mikhail and storms out of this office, and he's looking for Bobby Flay.
The moment you storm out, Larry, the dwarf, you nearly bowl him over. He's you guys are about the same size, and he's pretty squat, but you're kind of amazingly dense for a gnome, and you almost bang into him, but he says, "Oh, hi, laddie. Pardon me. I mean, you're a customer, right? Oh, please go.
No, I'm
go
not
right
a
ahead."
customer right now, please. I'm a high guard, though. What are you?
And he looks real anxious. Like,
Listen,
nothing.
nope.
I was going the other way.
No, you are not. You're going to stand here and tell me what it is. You are coming up here to tell Mr. Pleasant. And if you don't, you will be you'll be arrested for obstruction of justice. Listen, if you just tell me the truth right now, you may go on your merry way.
Intimidation with advantage.
Intimidation with advantage. I'm just constantly threatening to us.
Whammies, big bucks, the whammies.
23 total.
Boom. All right,
natural
one more
19.
success. You're only behind 2 now.
Sheesh.
All right, so he says, "Well, look, we've had another accident. Look, that poor elf. Oh, he didn't get out of the way in time. We have those big blades that swish back and forth, right? And it's easy. They're basically made of foam, except apparently one was steel, and it got him."
And may I ask who was down there at the time, other than you, Larry? Was Bobby Flay down there by any chance, or any of the engineers?
Well, yes, our party was, and we just defeated Mr. Fillet.
Yes. So he was not. So he had left and gone somewhere else before this accident happened.
Yes, he was. I assume still at the at the his room. That's where he belongs when he's called for an encounters.
Mikhail steps back into Mr. Pleasureby's office and opening the door, knocks another cup of tea out of.
Officer, you've come back. Double your pleasure with your twin statues. Yes.
Please be quiet, Mr. Pleasureby. Officer Kilson, Officer Sparks. I think I have a lead, but I cannot do this alone. And Warren, you're welcome to accompany us. I think you will find pleasure in this. I suspect.
Oh, if there's pleasure to be had, then I'd love to come along.
You stay here.
You
stay here.
Oh.
If they're leaving the office, he's gonna give Larry a really sharp look. He says, "Hey, I got you the job here. Don't make me look bad."
Hi, laddie. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just, it was the blade. It was nothing left but a head. It was terrible.
He said, "You told me you were out of the soul harvesting business."
I am. I swear. I converted. It's the money's in it. It's okay. Look, I mean, Bobby was always the ringleader of the soul harvesters. I mean, he's. I may have seen him, by the blades, adjusting them to above dwarf height. I don't know. That's all I know.
God damn it, Pierre.
And just then an ominous voice from the other end of the hall says, "Stop calling me that." And you see out of the shadows a platter with a fresh filleted, nebulous piece of something. It looks like if you boiled it, it could maybe be that catfish. The tentacles are like.
Mikhail is not having any more of this. He's grumpy. He's very unhappy. He holds out his hand and blasts at Bobby Flay.
All right. Roll to hit.
Oh no!
Attack roll.
It's an attack roll. I got an 8.
Oh, your bolt misses as it zigs down the hallway. Everybody roll initiative. We'll do our first actual combat.
All right.
Oh shit!
Aaron rolled a 5.
All right.
I got a 19.
19.
Wow.
I got
Okay.
a 9.
Okay, so I guess I got a 12 and a 1. So
12. Do Mikhail.
9.
Okay. All right. Top of the order. Lorne. Down the Flay. Bobby Flay is sort of licking tastily at his new dish. Larry's in the hall looking dumbstruck. Of course, Richard Pleasureby is sobbing on his fluffy pillows on his bed, like, they wouldn't let me come.
He's just gonna take his crossbow. The bolts are not particularly designed to kill, but he doesn't have any real weapons here, so he's just gonna like unload this crossbow, like try to like nail him in the eye or something like
Give me
that.
a roll hit.
All right. That is not very good. That is a 12.
12's the lucky number. AC 12. You hit.
Oh,
Does some
shit.
damage.
All
minus
right.
1 for non-lethal ammo. That seems fair enough.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Shannon, you're next.
okay.
3 damage.
3 damage. All right. A bolt hits him, sort of in like just under the eye, leaves a welt. So,
Oh. Yeah, it's a mean
Shannon.
hit.
So Shannon seems to be skilled in simple weaponry.
Yes.
So she picks up the cape that Aaron had on earlier, and she like whips it right on his like tentacles that are coming out of his mouth.
Oh, it's got a skull packed in it too. Like.
Oh,
all right.
Like coin socks him.
All right, I like it. Yeah. We'll count that as a sling. So that's +5 to hit and D4 +1 damage, I believe. So go ahead and roll D20 +5 to hit.
okay. Oh, nice. I got 18 plus 5.
That's
Oh my
definitely
God.
gonna hit. Roll your D4 +1 damage.
Okay. Let's see. So I got an 18 the first time and then a 20 the second time.
Oh, a D4. So like the 4 sided,
okay.
the triangulary die.
Oh, I got a 4. Yay!
Yay! All
Gosh,
right.
can we put all these on the scales of justice?
Yes, I have
Front
them
load that?
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we got 1 failure, 2 successes up. We're only 1 short. Moving into Bobby Flay's turn. He says, "I'm afraid that we can't have this. You can't, a mind is a terrible thing to waste." But he throws it over his shoulder. And then he gloms onto the nearest person to him, which is either going to be... Lauren was shooting at range. It's Shannon.
Yeah, I'm shooting down the stairs.
Well,
So-
no, wait. Shannon used her sling, right?
Oh, at range
I was-
also. All right, so
Yeah.
he
I
slurps
feel like I
up the
should have been in
stairs
front
at
of
you
that.
guys, and then he'll encounter probably Lauren on the stairs then, because he was first to shoot. And he gets an 18 to hit, which will hit Lauren.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Gonna be a failure for you guys since it's a success for him. He does 7 points of damage to you, Lauren. Are you still up?
I am, yes.
All right.
Oh my god, these dice are like right in my face.
I know they're all up in your grill. It's a terrible issue. We'll get those out of the way soon. Moving down the order. Who's at 9? Not Aaron. Mikhail.
Mikhail.
Okay. So Mikhail, he extinguishes the fight. He extinguishes his energy and pulls out William Club, his gigantic brass-studded billy club, and runs in and just over the top of his head tries to wail down on Bobby Flay.
All right. Rolled hit.
And that is an 18 total.
That will definitely hit Bobby Flay. Roll some damage on William Club.
That unfortunately,
It's
oh,
what is it, D8 +1?
it's
Aaron.
D10,
Oh, D10.
but it just did 1 damage.
What?
I know. I rolled 1.
Oh, very disappointing. I should mark that as a failure, but I won't. Aaron, what are you doing?
Aaron's driver is trying to decide how sassy he wants to be. So, not that sassy. Aaron is going to cast sleep on Bobby Fillet.
Nice. All right, go ahead. Roll your total hit dice of sleep.
Sorry, hit dice is what?
I think sleep is, what is it, like 5d8? Does anyone remember off the top of their head?
Sleep. Yeah, it's a bunch of d8s. I don't even remember it off the top of my head.
A bunch of d8s.
I'll look at it real quick. Hang on.
Who wants to add them up for me? This is.
I'm pretty sure it's 5d8. Yeah, roll 5d8, and if it turns out we're wrong, write all your complaints to Michael at therpgacademy.com.
All right. So somebody add these up. I've got 8. 2. 3.
13.
8.
21.
And 6.
27.
7. He had yep, that'll do it. He's now asleep. And I'll go ahead and count that as a success for you, tying up the scales of justice just as you guys are dropped out of combat.
Oh god, I can't see myself.
Yes,
I'm completely covered.
Oh no.
All right, so
stay tuned next week when we have a new graphics format.
we'll just rank those down. All right, so we have a tie, obviously, in our scales of justice, higher than we've ever gotten. But you guys have collared somebody, a Bobby Fillet. You cuff him, obviously unconscious. You drag
Who's
him
gonna
back
make the one-liner?
Oh, what is it?
I said, who's gonna make the one-liner as they arrest him?
Aaron's gonna drop the cookbook that he was still carrying onto the sleeping body as he gets his manacles out to shackle him, and he says, "It looks like this fillet of fish won't be coming back anytime soon." That's a McDonald's joke for everybody. Y'all enjoy that.
Oh man, I get it.
It's yeah. Then Richard Pleasureby peeks his head around the corner and he says, "Well, save a McRib for me."
Today's episode is brought to you by McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
McDonald's, please pay us if you're watching.
So, back in the office, the chief stares down at the 5 of you. Lauren, of course, found it in his heart to come testify, at least
And
to
I
get
have the
himself
statue,
off.
5th of us, right?
Yeah, so the 6 of us. The chief stares down at the 6 of you. She stomps her foot twice and... Well, that's great, officers. You've found out why duplicate Mikhail was down there, and you've discovered the real killer. What kind of a thing is that anyway? I guess I don't know. Wait, didn't he have a cooking show? Unconscious, there's like...
He's Bobby Fillet. I believe he's a filleter of minds.
The captain says. She says, "I'll never forget that. Take him away." And some random officers of the High Guard haul him away. She says, "Well, Mikhail, I've maybe misjudged you. It could have been this statue. We didn't see you move. So consider yourself on warning. We'd better not see any other convenient statues identical to you appear in any other visions. But you're not suspended."
Well, Chief, I'd actually like to take a little bit of leave because I would like to know why there was a statue of me underground in the by a teleportation circle near the cult activity. So,
She says, "Oh, well, I guess I'm surprised. You're curious. I just assumed that don't all gnomes look alike?"
well, now
Whoa, Chief.
that is definitely, you all just heard that. That is definitely going to HR before I leave.
I think Mikhail's gonna need paid time off for that.
So that's just big MPTO.
She says, "It's your own fault. You didn't bring me any coffee. Without my coffee, I get weird." And she, reaches her nose into some peanuts and jams them in her mouth. Then, with her trunk, writes you out a slip for paid leave and hands it over. "Here you go, Mikhail. Now let's just let's keep this out of City Hall, shall we? You look fine. Take little you and go. And as for the rest of you,
Same size.
well done. And what was your name again?" That she says to the dwarf.
Oh, I'm Lauren Hammer, Steel Frame.
Oh. Well, good for you, Lauren Steelframe. Her trunk fishes around into her desk and pulls out one of the little kid badges they give when they visit her office, and she reaches over her desk with her trunk and kind of pins it on you. She says, "There, you're now an honorary High Guard member."
That's actually kind of condescending.
Well, get me some coffee and I'll consider making you a real High Guard member. Out of my office!
Man, Chief must really want coffee.
Stomp.
Yep. Out we go.
Yep. And that's the episode, I believe. Unless anybody has any last lines, epilogue bits they want to jam in real quick.
Well, we haven't given we need to find out what happens to Bobby Slay, whether he is found guilty or not.
Oh God, yes! Of course! How dare I forget voting, the most important thing that our viewers do. So,
all of you jury members in the chat room, you may have thought that you were going to get off, but no, your number has been called. Mm-hmm. You are required for the next trial.
Everybody has to perform jury duty, whether they like it or not. So, the jury. I guess it's up to you. What are you guys charging, and who are you charging it with?
Definitely Bobby Slay, and definitely
with shitty cooking.
Also that.
Bobby Flay, 1 count of shitty cooking. Anything else?
Multiple counts of harvesting souls without a license.
Harvesting souls with /out license.
And also, I believe that a lot of his book has been plagiarized, so I just want to add plagiarism to the list.
All right, and 1 count of
is that a civil crime?
Did we get like a negligence charge?
That's the guild of chefs and meat butchers. They've managed to pass several laws protecting their own combinations. What was that,
so recipes are IP.
Definitely. What was that, Jeffrey?
I was saying, can we get like a negligence charge for Pleasure Bee? I feel like a lot of this is maybe on him.
For Pleasure Bee.
Let's go ahead and get Larry for conspiracy also.
Well, that's actually fair.
He was reformed.
No, but
I got him that job on good faith.
No, he admitted to seeing Bobby adjust the axes.
He just saw him down there. All right. 1 count conspiracy.
We're charging everybody. And you're lucky we're not charging you, Lauren.
That's right.
You're lucky.
If one of our past episodes, we convicted dudes we never even met.
We won.
All right, so we're gonna we got 3 trials, but it's a feudal fantasy trial system. They're all on for the same. So we're gonna start a timer. Everybody vote in the chat room, guilty or not guilty for all 3 of them. If you think the party's done a good job tonight of proving guilt beyond whatever shadow of doubt you believe in, vote guilty. If you think that they have not proven guilt, if you think maybe Larry was just coincidentally innocent, or if you think Pleasure Bee doesn't deserve negligence, or if you think Bobby Fillet's cookbook makes some really delicious fillet of fish, vote innocent. And I'll start the clock. So just go hog wild. Vote all you want. We got 1:30. We got
Jeopardy music.
That's
not Jeopardy.
No, we have to make our own.
Bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum.
Oh! I think I can.
Oh!
I can play our intro music.
Oh
no, that was our scene transition music that we've never used until right now. Oh,
wow! A very special treat for late night viewers of Lan Arcanym.
I love that the fact that he could play music is like a revelation.
Oh, I don't know. I've been doing background music throughout the app, but branded music. Music while people are voting. We've never done that before.
Gotta stay on brand. That's the thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good idea. All right, we got. Ooh, it's coming down to the wire. We need another vote because we have a split jury so far. Hung jury. Yep. Coming right down to the wire, folks.
All right, somebody voted butts.
I think that counts.
I know.
We're not allowed to vote. That was Brian.
Ooh, come down to the wire. 12 seconds left, folks. Any last minute votes? We got a hung jury, and Bobby Fillet gets to continue to make his incredible cookbooks unabated.
Sounds like it.
Yep, I think the timer's out, and we'll wait for a second for the lag, but it's a hung jury, folks. Bobby Fillet, his reputation citywide is so pristine. Many people bought his cookbook, and several did not die from cooking his dishes, and they happen to be in the jury. It's a hung jury.
He's very handsome.
No convictions today.
We gotta do a better job of jury vetting. We gotta get on the prosecutors.
Oh no, we had a vote come in late, but it's too late. Yeah, look at that.
Last minute guilty. All right. We'll say that there was a mistrial, and you get one conviction of the three. You guys get to pick one person who got the late vote.
Oh, Tentacle Mouth.
Yeah, it's gotta be Bobby Fillet, right?
All
Like,
day.
Really?
I don't like Dick Fletcherby.
Not Larry? Come on, make it Larry.
I would definitely make it Fillet.
Fine.
Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. Larry and Pleasureby get off with Pleasureby does apparently know an excellent omnibudsman. But yes, in a surprise, a shock witness last second in the trial said, yep, Bobby Fillet totally filleted some minds. Like, that's all he does. He just fillets minds. Like, cuts them real thin. It's gross. And yeah, open and shut. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'm Scott. We've had Andrew, Marty, Jeffrey, and of course, everybody thank our special guest, Brian at Ask Ren. He has wonderful Twitch shows 4 nights a week. Fuzzy Dice is incredible. The Exploding Dice group is great. His talk shows are good. I have yet to see his map stuff because it correlates with our schedule, but I'm a huge fan of maps. Everyone should watch nightly map stuff Monday nights. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to say, Brian?
No, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun. I was totally going to play the character exactly like an actor, like what you had lined up. So I thought that was really funny. But no, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun, and I am sorry if I was exceptionally tired tonight.
Wouldn't have noticed.
Didn't show.
You
Thanks
got the
for being
Pax
on.
glow still.
You fit in very well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll do the slow endless wave thing.
Yeah, see you next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Same bad time.
Same bad channel.
Ah, yeah, that's right. We did it. It's a thing we did. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm still waving. Are you still here? Are you watching? We love you. Bye. We're not out yet. We're still here. Bye.